Today we are talking about self-worth and how it is our emotional bubble wrap. And I am copywriting that term because I love it so much. So let's get into it. Welcome back to your Emotional Support Podcast. I'm your host, Noelle Rizzio, and today we are talking about how self-worth is like wrapping yourself in emotional bubble wrap. You're still going to face tough stuff, but it won't break you, right? Think of yourself as like you're in a moving box and you are that wine glass that your great-great-grandmother has passed down to generations because you are that priceless, okay? And you are gonna still, the moving van is gonna bump, it might even crash, but you are wrapped in this emotional bubble wrap that is keeping you safe from all the things in the outside, okay? So I'm just like so excited about this. I came up with this on my drive to work the other morning because inside of this, I'm also working on writing a curriculum for elementary school students to help build their self-worth. And so when our kids are little, we're always saying things like, I want to put them in a bubble, right? Because you don't want them to get hurt and you hate when they get hurt. And so we always say we want to wrap our kids in a bubble or wrap them in bubble wrap. So I was trying to think of a way to protect kids from bullying, because right now all of the other curriculums out there, I feel I've worked in schools for the last 20 years and I don't feel like the anti-bullying curriculums out there don't address the real problem. They try to tell kids to not be bullies. Well, guess what? When you're at school and people are telling you to not be a bully, but then you go home and your parents are bullying you or your older siblings are bullying you or whatever, like that's not gonna sustain. Okay, so I'm writing this curriculum to build kids' sense of self-worth so that no matter what happens, they still feel good and they are still protected emotionally. So I was like, why not bridge that over here to my emotional support podcast and share it with all of you, because I think it's just such a great analogy. So let's get into it. People are still going to be rude. People are still going to reject you. Setbacks are still going to happen. Obstacles are going to happen in your life. Bad things happen, right? I mean, there's a whole slogan about that, right? Blank happens. But the reality is that we can protect ourselves from all of those things. You don't build your self-worth to avoid pain, because that's impossible. You build self-worth to survive that pain without crumbling, without breaking. External stuff, praise from other people, success that you feel, followers that you get on Instagram, all of that is great. It's nice. It's wonderful. It makes us feel good, but it's not that bubble wrap that we need. That bubble wrap comes from the inside. So we're protecting our emotions on the inside. That is why it's so important to build from the inside out. Self-worth doesn't make life perfect. It makes you less breakable. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Self-worth doesn't make life perfect. It makes you less breakable, right? You are like that wine glass, that priceless heirloom that you don't want anything to happen to. And so you wrap it in all of that bubble wrap to keep it protected. That bubble wrap is your self-worth. That's what we're growing. So what does self-worth actually do? We've touched on this a little bit, but we're going to talk about it again because it's so important. It helps you recover faster when things go wrong. It helps you bounce back quicker, okay? It doesn't mean that people aren't going to say things and do things that upset you and break you and hurt you, but you're going to bounce back quicker. Those other people's opinions are going to be less powerful, okay? Because the way that you feel about yourself, your opinion about yourself is going to be stronger than other people's opinions about you or what you're doing, okay? So that's how we're insulating that. Self-worth gives you an internal voice that's louder than your inner critic. Okay, so not only is it louder than other people's opinions, it's louder than that Nicole that's in our heads, right? It keeps your sense of identity from crumbling in hard seasons. And I love this, hard seasons, because we all go through them, right? Just like the environment and nature goes through seasons, we do too, right? I always tell clients and students that our emotions ebb and flow. We are always going to get really high and feel really good about ourselves. And then eventually something is going to happen and we're going to come down, right? But as long as we've built those tools and that emotional bubble wrap when we're high, then that fall won't feel so hard, okay? Because we're all going to go through hard stuff. But you won't lose who you are in those times because you have this cushion. Okay, self-worth also protects your boundaries. You set boundaries, but then some people come along and they don't respect them, and so then you let those boundaries down. Okay, that might be you, that might not be you, but your self-worth protects those boundaries. You won't tolerate as much nonsense when you know what you're worth. Okay, you won't let those people talk you out of those boundaries that you've set or manipulate their way, kind of weaving through those boundaries. So rejection with the no self-worth is I'm not good enough. But rejection with self-worth is that sucked, but I'm still whole. I'm still me. Okay. So how do we build this emotional bubble wrap? Where does this come from? First of all, daily affirmations. I know these can be hard for some people, but they are really good to just say something good about yourself every day. Okay? It's not toxic positivity. These are truthful reminders of your values. Okay? And my suggestion is to make a note in your phone or set a reminder or something in your phone, because we all have our phones with us all the time. And if we have reminders, then our watch will go off or our, alerts will go off. But even if you don't set a reminder, make a note in your phone or in your Google, just a Google note or whatever, that to write down the good things. Write down the good things about yourself or good things that happen to you. Then when you do kind of slump down into that low point, you can look at that and remember, oh yeah, this is temporary. I don't always feel this way. I'm going to have one of those upswings again soon, and things are going to turn around. Another way to build that emotional bubble wrap is to set boundaries. Those boundaries that I talked about before. You have to set them to be able to hold to them. Every no you say to someone else is a yes to yourself. Okay, it's not rude, it's not selfish. Boundaries are not rude and they are not selfish. They are there to protect you and who you are, because you are important. And other people are not more important than you, so you are allowed to set those boundaries. Celebrate small wins. Every time you advocate for yourself, it thickens your bubble wrap. It makes that bubble wrap even more protective. Okay, so every time you set those boundaries and stick to them, or someone tries to challenge those boundaries and you don't let them, that is a win for you. That is strength growing. That is your self-worth improving and evolving. Talk to yourself like someone you love. I've talked about this time and time again. It's so important that we talk to ourselves like we would talk to our friends. Sometimes we are so mean to ourselves with that Nicole. She can be so yucky. Okay, but talk to yourself like someone you love. Your brain is listening to you. Your self-worth is listening to you. And again, I think we're going to talk about this in the next episode, but surround yourself with safe people. Some people help you wrap up, and some people pop your bubble wrap on purpose because they think it's fun. It's really important that you know the difference. We all love to pop that bubble wrap, right? So think of the people, those toxic people in your life, or the people who just don't support you in the ways that they should. Think of those as the tiny little kids that grab the bubble wrap and pop it just to hear that fun sound for their own enjoyment. Okay, we don't need those people in our world. We need to surround ourselves with the people who come over to help us move and pack our fragile, priceless things in that bubble wrap. So just to wrap up, you can't avoid life's bumps, but self-worth gives you that padding that you need. What I want you to do this week is write down 3 ways you showed up for yourself this week. Make a note in your phone and put those daily mantras in there. I'm safe in myself. I'm worthy, no matter what's happening around me. And then notice one moment where your self-worth might soften the blow a little bit and give yourself credit. Because there's always going to be stuff that happens that makes us feel icky. But our self-worth is there so that we can bounce back quicker and faster and be better for it. So today's reminder you didn't ask for but definitely need: you're not fragile. Oh my gosh, I almost said you're trapped in worth. You're not fragile. You're wrapped in worth. And I'm going to put some daily affirmations, some kind of bubble wrap mantras in the show notes that are on the web, that are linked in the website, youremotionalsupportpodcast.com. And I am also working on something special in the works. So stay tuned for all of that. And again, you're so worth it. You are that precious family heirloom. Wrap yourself in so much emotional bubble wrap that nothing can break you. I'm so glad you're here.